A name that evokes wonder, mystery, and the echoes of a civilization lost to time. Perched high in the Andes Mountains at an elevation of 2,430 meters, this ancient citadel sits shrouded in clouds, both literally and figuratively. For centuries, it lay hidden from the world, swallowed by dense jungle vegetation. When it was rediscovered in 1911 by Hiram Bingham, it wasn't just a city that emerged, it was a question. A question we're still trying to answer today. What is Machu Picchu? Why was it built? And why was it abandoned? To truly understand Machu Picchu, we must step back into the world of the Incas, the civilization that created this architectural wonder. The Incas were not just builders, they were visionaries who crafted an empire stretching across vast territories in South America. At its height, their domain included modern-day Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. Yet, despite their immense power, they left no written records behind. Instead, their history was passed down through oral traditions and intricate stone carvings. This absence of documentation has only deepened the mystery surrounding Machu Picchu. The construction of Machu Picchu is believed to have begun around 1450 AD under the reign of Emperor Pachacuti, one of the most influential figures in Inca history. Pachacuti transformed the Incas from a small kingdom into a sprawling empire, and Machu Picchu is often considered his crowning achievement. But why did he choose such a remote location? Nestled between towering peaks and surrounded by dense jungle, it seems almost deliberately hidden. Some historians suggest it served as a royal estate, a private retreat for the emperor and his elite circle. Others propose it was a ceremonial site, designed to connect the Incas with their gods. Imagine constructing a city at an altitude where oxygen levels are thin, using only basic tools made of bronze and stone. The Incas didn't have access to iron, let alone modern machinery. Yet, they managed to quarry massive stones, transport them up steep mountain slopes, and fit them together with such precision that not even a knife blade can slide between the joints. How did they achieve this level of craftsmanship without advanced technology? One theory is that the Incas relied on sheer manpower, employing thousands of workers over decades to complete the project. They may have used ramps, levers, and counterweights to move the stones into place. However, these explanations still don't fully account for the complexity of the design or the alignment of structures with celestial events. But here's what makes Machu Picchu so extraordinary. It wasn't just functional, it was symbolic. Take, for instance, the agricultural terraces that cling to the mountainside. These terraces weren't just decorative, they were practical, preventing soil erosion and providing space for crops like maize and potatoes. But they also doubled as seismic stabilizers, absorbing shock during earthquakes, a feature that continues to protect Machu Picchu to this day. It's as if the Incas anticipated the forces of nature centuries before modern science understood them. And then there's the sacred Intihuatana stone, a monolith carved directly into the bedrock. Its name translates to hitching post of the sun, suggesting it played a role in tracking solar movements. During the winter solstice, the sun aligns perfectly with the stone, casting shadows that seem almost choreographed. Was this a calendar, a navigational tool, or something more symbolic, tying the Incas to their divine origins? Each theory raises more questions than answers. But here's the real kicker. Despite all its grandeur, Machu Picchu disappeared from history. Not because it was destroyed, but because it was forgotten. For nearly 400 years, the outside world had no idea it existed. How does a city this monumental vanish without a trace? And why did the Incas abandon it in the first place? Was it disease, political instability, environmental collapse, or was it something more deliberate, a decision to leave this sacred place untouched? Machu Picchu's abandonment is one of history's greatest enigmas. For centuries, this majestic city lay silent, its people gone, its purpose forgotten. But why? What could have driven the Incas to leave behind such a masterpiece? Disease, brought by European colonizers, swept through indigenous populations with devastating consequences. Unlike the Europeans, the Incas had no immunity to these foreign illnesses. Entire communities were wiped out within decades of contact. Could an epidemic have decimated the population of Machu Picchu, forcing survivors to flee or abandon the site altogether? Another possibility lies in political instability. By the late 15th century, the Inca Empire was already grappling with internal strife. A brutal civil war between two brothers, Atahualpa and Huáscar, left the empire fractured just before the arrival of the Spanish. This division weakened their ability to defend against external threats and maintain control over distant territories like Machu Picchu. But here's where things get even stranger. Despite its abandonment, Machu Picchu remained remarkably well preserved. Unlike other Inca sites that were looted or destroyed during the Spanish conquest, this remote sanctuary escaped detection entirely. How did it stay hidden for nearly 400 years? Some believe its isolation protected it. Perched high in the Andes and accessible only via narrow mountain trails, Machu Picchu was effectively cut off from the outside world. Others suggest that local Quechua-speaking communities knew about the site all along but kept its existence a secret to shield it from invaders. The rediscovery of Machu Picchu in 1911 by Hiram Bingham marked a turning point in its story. At the time, Bingham wasn't searching for Machu Picchu specifically. He was on a quest to find Vilcabamba, the legendary, lost city of the Incas, where the last remnants of Inca resistance supposedly fled after the Spanish invasion. Instead, he stumbled upon something far greater, a sprawling citadel frozen in time, its walls still standing tall amidst thick jungle vegetation. Bingham's expedition sparked both fascination and controversy. While his work brought global attention to Machu Picchu, it also raised ethical questions about the treatment of cultural heritage. Thousands of artifacts unearthed during his digs were shipped to Yale University in the United States, sparking debates over ownership and repatriation that continue to this day. Machu Picchu isn't just a relic of the past, it's a living laboratory for cutting-edge science. One of the most groundbreaking advancements in recent years has been the use of LiDAR, light detection and ranging, technology. This remote sensing method uses lasers to penetrate dense vegetation, creating detailed 3D maps of the terrain below. When applied to Machu Picchu and its surrounding areas, LiDAR scans have uncovered previously unknown terraces, platforms, and even entire settlements buried beneath centuries of jungle growth. These discoveries suggest that Machu Picchu was far more extensive than originally thought, and that its influence may have extended deeper into the Andes than archaeologists realized. But LiDAR isn't the only tool reshaping our understanding of Machu Picchu. Advances in DNA analysis have also provided fascinating insights into the people who once called this place home. By studying human remains found near the site, scientists have identified genetic links between the inhabitants of Machu Picchu and other regions of the Inca Empire. This challenges earlier assumptions that Machu Picchu was an isolated retreat reserved exclusively for elites. Instead, it appears to have been a diverse community where artisans, farmers, and laborers coexisted alongside nobility. Yet, despite these revelations, many questions remain unanswered. For example, what happened to the thousands of artifacts removed from Machu Picchu during Hiram Bingham's expeditions? Many of these items, ceramics, tools, textiles, are now housed in museums outside Peru, sparking debates over cultural heritage and repatriation. Should these treasures be returned to their homeland so they can be studied and appreciated in their original context? Or do they serve a greater purpose by educating global audiences about Inca civilization? These ethical dilemmas highlight the ongoing tension between preservation and accessibility. Another pressing issue is climate change. Rising temperatures and increased rainfall pose significant threats to Machu Picchu's structural integrity. The same agricultural terraces that once stabilized the mountainside are now vulnerable to erosion due to shifting weather patterns. Additionally, the growing number of tourists visiting the site each year, over 1.5 million annually, has put immense strain on its fragile ecosystem. How do we balance the desire to share this wonder with the world while ensuring its survival for future generations? To address these challenges, conservationists are employing innovative solutions. For instance, researchers are experimenting with bioengineering techniques to reinforce the terraces using native plants that help bind the soil together. Similarly, UNESCO has implemented strict regulations limiting daily visitor numbers and requiring guided tours to minimize human impact. However, these measures come with trade-offs. Some argue that restricting access diminishes the experience for travelers, while others believe it's a necessary sacrifice to protect one of humanity's greatest achievements. Even as we focus on preserving Machu Picchu, there's still much to learn from it. Recent studies have explored how the Incas achieved such precise stonework without modern tools. One theory suggests they used a combination of heating and cooling techniques to fracture rocks along natural fault lines. Another posits that they employed sound waves to test the resonance of stones, ensuring a perfect fit. While these ideas remain speculative, they underscore the ingenuity of a civilization that thrived without the benefits of industrialization. And then there's the question of what lies beneath. Despite decades of exploration, large portions of Machu Picchu remain unexcavated. Archaeologists estimate that up to 60% of the site is still covered by earth and vegetation. What secrets might these untouched areas hold? Could they contain evidence of advanced technologies or undiscovered chambers filled with artifacts? Only time, and continued research, will tell. As we stand on the brink of new discoveries, it's worth reflecting on why places like Machu Picchu matter. They remind us of our shared humanity, the creativity, resilience, and ambition that define us as a species. They challenge us to think beyond ourselves and consider the legacy we leave behind. But perhaps most importantly, they inspire us to keep asking questions. Because every answer leads to another mystery waiting to be solved. But here's the thing. This story doesn't belong to historians or archaeologists alone. It belongs to all of us. Every time you share this video, comment your thoughts, or visit Machu Picchu yourself, you become part of its legacy. You help ensure that this wonder continues to inspire future generations. So, what can you do today? If you're passionate about preserving history, consider supporting organizations dedicated to protecting cultural heritage sites like Machu Picchu. Or, if travel is on your bucket list, make Machu Picchu a priority, but remember to tread lightly. Respect the site, follow guidelines, and leave nothing behind but footprints. And don't forget to engage with this content. Drop a comment below telling me what fascinated you most about Machu Picchu. Was it the engineering marvels, the celestial alignments, or the enduring mysteries we've yet to solve? Your thoughts matter, and they might just spark someone else's curiosity. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. History isn't just something we read about in books. It's alive, breathing, and waiting to be discovered. Places like Machu Picchu remind us that the past has much to teach us, if we're willing to listen. So, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep exploring the wonders of our world. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries, and share this with anyone who loves adventure as much as you do. Until next time, keep asking questions, because every answer leads to another mystery waiting to be uncovered.